Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Get Organized at Work podcast. I'm Kayla, I'm your host. And today is just like a special bonus episode. Sometimes I like to do episodes on Thursdays or Fridays that are like throwback or just little things that I've learned throughout the week. Normal episodes are Monday, so this is just extra. So it won't follow the normal format, but today I wanted to come on and have like a little bit of a coffee chat with you. If you would like to see this video in person, I'm actually recording me live so you can see me. That video is going to be in our members space. So I have a free podcast community. Simple. It's called Get Organized at Work Podcast Community. The link is in the description or in the show notes if you want to join it. It's free. Lots of people are joining, lots of people from different professions. And we're all working on getting ourselves more organized, finding standard work, creating strategies, being more efficient, being proactive. So today I'm going to be talking about one of the productivity hacks / lessons that I learned this week. And so if you want to see me in real life, join the community so you can see what I'm about to share with you. But if not, I'm just going to talk through it. So I bought this productivity planner on Amazon. I'm showing it on the screen here. It's hard to see because I have my blur on, but I think you can get the gist. It's actually a desk pad. And so it's gorgeous. It's black. It's got a nice thick, I don't know what you would call this type of material. It's more than now I'm blanking, but it's a heavier cardstock and it's got gold foil, the word productivity planner on the front, and desk pad is gold foil. And then when you open it, the first page just shows how to plan your day and gives you examples. So I'm showing that now too. And actually, it's really hard to see because I have my blur on. So what I'm going to do is edit the video to have pictures of the inside. I think that'll work better. And I'm bringing this up because I wanted to share my learnings that I had from just using it one day. So far, 2 days actually. So this planner has a section for you to write your day from 6 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. And then it has spaces for I'm grateful for, my intention for the day. And then it has my most important task, my secondary tasks of importance, and it's got 4 spaces for those. So 5 tasks total. And then subtasks, just lines for those. And then highlight of the day. What did I learn today? What do I want to remember from today? And then a habit you want to track, a mood tracker, how you'd rate the day. You can even fill in number of cups. So I'm assuming that's for hydration. How much water did you drink? And then a notes section. So here's what I learned. Honestly, it doesn't matter what planner or productivity tool you use. What matters is that you use it and then learn and change from it. So I really love this tearaway pad. I think it's cute. It even has a quote on the day. Today it says, good well-being promotes good productivity. And it's a quote by Layla Gifty Akita. So I love it. It's a different quote every day. Having something beautiful to use every day gets you excited. And if you have a tool that makes it fun, then you're going to be more likely to use it, right? So what I learned is that having just to go through the act of writing out what my most important task is, and then what are secondary tasks, really puts you through the exercise of saying, okay, truly, if I say this is my most important task, then when I go to start my work for the day, then I better be working on that, right? It almost creates an incongruence or a tension there if you say this is the most important thing, but then it's not the thing that you're working on. You're like, oh, I'm taking notice. Or these are the secondary tasks of importance that in my mind, when I was writing this down, I thought these are the secondary things of importance. But if I'm not working on those and I'm working on something else, then what I'm doing is observing and taking in that information, that data, and saying, oh, actually, maybe I think this is what it should be, but in reality, this is not what's actually happening. Does that mean I need to make something else a priority and the things I've listed aren't really the priority? Or does it mean I'm avoiding the things that are truly the priority and working on something else? So as I went through and I made my list of what's most important, what I found was the thing that I listed as most important had a time bound. It was urgent, and it was something I wanted to do to be able to present to the group an idea that I had, a proposal that I had, so that I could execute it better by using this tool or this SBAR, which stands for Situation Background Assessment Recommendation, having some framework for how I was going to communicate. And so I did find that I worked on that thing first. And because I had it on my list and it was time bound, it was like, boom, I got it done way quicker than what I thought I would, need to get it done. And this is actually a principle out there. I forget the full name of it, but essentially what it is it takes you as long as the amount of time that you've given yourself to complete something. So to say that simpler is if you have a lot of time to get something done, you're going to fill that time. If you have a small amount of time, let's say you give yourself an hour and you make it sort of like a competition with yourself, you can get that thing done in an hour instead of 3 days, right? So because I put a time bound on it, I made it urgent. It was my most important thing. It was like, bam, got that done. So then when it came to my secondary tasks, I had prep active project list for my VP and my boss. Number 3, prep my quality management report for a meeting I have on 114. Then it was talk to this person about a one-on-one and other meetings I've had with certain stakeholders. And then number 5 was schedule performance reviews. So as I'm going through my days, I'm finding that I'm not really working on those things. And the thing that I actually worked on was I needed to send information back to someone about dimensions of equipment for a new lab that I'm helping start up. And so I end up writing the footprints for the equipment in my subtasks and check that one off first before the other secondary tasks. So what did I learn? What I learned was in my head, these were the things that I wanted to get done and I thought were most important. But then when I went in my email and other places and I saw that that meeting for the new lab was today and the email I had gotten yesterday, I was like, I better answer that email. So that became the most secondary important thing. And so it's just a good learning like, oh, okay, the things I thought were most important, yeah, they are, but there was something else I forgot about. So just having a tool where it's sort of like looking at you in the face and you're the one making the decisions forces you to really think this through and then puts it in front of you on paper like, oh, actually, no, there was something else. And so once I got the footprints of the equipment done, then I went back to my secondary tasks and I was like, okay, these feel right now. Like I feel like it's appropriate to work on these things now that I got that footprint email out of the way. And now I just wrote down my secondary tasks of importance in no particular order, but you could do them priority 2, 3, 4, 5. For me, it was just like, these are important. And as I find time, motivation, energy, and urgency, they'll come next. I would say the only other one that has like a immediate deadline of this week was prepping the quality management report for the meeting that I have on the 14th. But I still have time to work on that as of right now. And the other item that I ended up working on, which was talk to the person about one-on-ones and a stakeholder, that came up naturally in conversation with that person. So I was like, great, check that off. So anyways, all this to say, number 1, it doesn't matter what tool you use, although I really love this productivity desk pad. I just love that it's tearaway. You can tear the page off when you're done or just flip to the next one and keep it here to look back, sort of carry your day from the things that didn't get done today to the next day. So I'll link it in the show notes in the description. Also, if you follow me on YouTube by now, you probably have seen or you might stumble across the YouTube short I made about it. I think it's so cute. But it doesn't matter what you use as long as when you put something down on paper, then you try to execute it in real life. The biggest deal is that you learn from that and change. So you get a little bit better every time, right? So if you're out of practice of writing down and articulating to yourself, these are the most important things, or these are the next important things, then you might feel a little bit rusty about it. You're in your mind, you're like, oh yeah, I know it's important. But then when you actually have to choose off of a list based on what's going on in your workday and what energy you have, that's a little bit harder than just like in my mind, like these are the most important. And that's good because what we want to practice in leadership and being professionals is something called discernment. And discernment is the ability to choose and decide and comb through all of the mess to really know what is most important. And you get better and better at that as you get more feedback from other people about your decisions, as you learn from making mistakes. And so if you are not articulating to yourself what's most important, and you're just working through an endless to-do list that's meaningless just for that hit of dopamine to get, I checked the box feeling, I really encourage you to pause and try to work through prioritizing number one, two, three, four. If you want to purchase the test pad, great. Like I said, it's linked, but you can do this today with a post-it note. And I've talked about this in other videos I've done in the past, but just take a post-it note. It's small, which makes you have discernment. You can only fit so much on a post-it. So 1 to 3 things usually fit on a post-it. What's your top thing? What's your second top thing? And what's your third top thing? Write those down, go through your workday and see how it flows. See, did you work on that top thing first? Did you get that done? Did it make sense? Were those 2 things or 3 things too ambitious? Do I need to pull it back? And this helps you move the needle forward quicker, more exponentially, because you're working on the right things instead of all the things. Okay, I hope this episode was helpful and just like a little treat on a Friday. And also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Happy Valentine's Day. I love you. And if you're watching this, I'm wearing pink. So, I'm on brand, I'm on theme. And I hope you have good plans for the weekend and that you get to spend it with the people that you love. All right, until next time, take care.